It was supposed to be a huge musical event for the city of LA, kicking off last weekend, August 7th, all the way through August 23rd. But something happened, and it didn't officially get canceled until the day before. Let's take a look at what happened with the ill-fated LA Jazz Festival. My name is Ahmed. This is ticketing_tech. Welcome. Thank you for being here. This is where we talk about the tickets, we talk about the tech, and we let you know what's up. You can follow me at Ahmed's Voice. You can also follow us at ticketing_tech. It's easy to find, all at ahmedsvoice.com. This episode, to pull us back out of the woodwork, we have to talk about a major event that was supposed to happen last weekend in LA. It was the LA Jazz Festival. Here's a quick synopsis of what's going on.
A highly anticipated weeks-long jazz festival that sought to bring the sounds of New Orleans to the streets of LA is suddenly going silent. The LA Jazz Festival had announced new music programming this summer: Jazz in the Park, Jazz After Dark, and Caribbean Street Carnival.
It was being called the hottest block party of the summer, but it has been canceled. KTLA's Angeli Kakade joins us live from Leimert Park with what might be behind the sudden cancellation. Angeli.
Well, Sandra and Micah, we know the cancellations have something to do with getting permits, last-minute permits, and public safety concerns. Now, it's unclear what opening night here would have looked like, but tonight there are no instruments, no crowds, and no jazz. Hundreds of artists scheduled to be part of the inaugural LA Jazz Festival are now left scrambling, as most of the 175 concerts and events scheduled across Los Angeles have been canceled or postponed.
Los Angeles is a town that has a rich history of jazz.
Dennis Mitcheltree is an LA-based saxophonist and says a third-party agent booked him for the festival back in April. But as time went by, he had received little detail and had a bad feeling.
It didn't come right away. It didn't come the next month. It didn't come the next month.
Finally, on Monday, Dennis says the email he was expecting came. It reads, in part, due to unforeseen permitting and production challenges, we have made the difficult but prudent decision to postpone this year's Jazz in the Park, Jazz After Dark, as well as the opening night event at the Caribbean Street Carnival. The 17-day festival is owned by former LA City Councilman Martin Ludlow, who announced it in late April and marketed the shows as a celebration of jazz. Hours before opening night at Leimert Park, a statement from Ludlow confirmed all ticket holders would be refunded within 30 days. While Dennis says he respects Ludlow's mission,
people don't understand that they want it until they're actually exposed to it. And a festival like the LA Jazz Festival would give Los Angelinos that opportunity to see what's out there.
He genuinely hopes next year there's better planning, communication, and an actual festival.
Live and learn. I mean, take this situation, figure out where the kinks are and work them out, because we need you to present us, man. We need you.
So the LA Jazz Festival is supposed to be this huge event. I don't know what was going on. I wouldn't miss out usually on things like this, but I didn't see any promotion about this event, especially such a huge event happening right up the street from San Diego and LA. Jazz festivals are usually on my radar around town. I used to work for Smooth Jazz 98.1. Pretty much know what's going on in the jazz scene when it comes to the local festivals and the area regional festivals. Didn't hear about this one though. Very surprising, but hey, there's a lot of information floating around the world right now. So you can miss out on some things, like Ferris Bueller said. But anyway, the LA Jazz Festival was supposed to be this giant festival, as you saw in the news report. It was supposed to take place almost all throughout the whole month of August. Very peculiar the way that this went down. Again, canceled the day before it was supposed to kick off. When you saw the lineup of stars that were supposed to be here, if it wasn't clear in that, we were talking John Legend, Janelle Monáe, Raphael Sadiq, Parliament, Funkadelic. We're talking about Charlie Wilson. Just a lot of big acts are supposed to be a part of this festival. Again, that was going to last almost throughout the whole month of August in LA. To be canceling an event of this size the day before, it's really, really, really peculiar. The organizer of this event is a former LA City Councilman. His name is Ludlow. Again, former city councilman for LA from 2003 to 2006. He had to resign before pleading guilty to charges breaching the city's campaign laws. In 2012, he went on to found a live events production company called Bridge Street. So again, huge festival supposed to be taking place in multiple venues around LA. It was going to close out with a festival at the beach. That's where you would have had the headliners of John Legend and Monet, along with Ezra Collective, Nubia Garcia. Again, it's supposed to go from August 7th through August 23rd, but the day before they officially canceled. Now, there were some peculiar signs, according to news reports. The two best articles I've seen so far are from IQmagazine.com and Variety. I have those linked in the description page of wherever you are watching this video, or you can visit Ticketing Tech at Substack.com to get these links to these two articles that I'm pretty much gleaning most of the information from. Most of the articles you're going to see say the same thing right now. There's not a lot of news out there, but I think Variety and IQ Magazine had the best comprehensive breakdowns of what was going on. Now, again, I have worked in live arts since the late 80s, early 90s. I used to work at a smooth jazz radio station, Smooth Jazz 98.1. It was the flagship for the genre in the country. I have worked all kinds of live events, from being on stage to selling tickets to running sound checks to actually putting together the festival. So a lot of stuff that's with this is really, really peculiar. I'm not talking out of pocket, I think. And for those of you who work in this industry, I think you know this is very peculiar, as we'll even see from statements from some of the musicians that were involved in this festival. But let's continue again. The festival was canceled the day before. And this was part of the official statement. Now, I need to understand, even though this festival was canceled, there is still, at least at the time I'm recording this, which is Wednesday night, there was still no movement on their social media pages, no statements, no changing in lineup, no changing or anything, no new posts. But this was the official statement that was released. Again, day before this festival was supposed to start. Due to significant and unanticipated last-minute public safety and municipal costs associated with the final permitting of the On the Beach Festival, we have reached the decision to unfortunately postpone this year's inaugural LA Jazz Festival, Ludlow told the newspaper. Again, I'm taking this from IQ Magazine, but these are the official statements that Martin Ludlow gave the Los Angeles Times in reference to closing down the festival. I want to get into that last part, or that main part, the main reason. Due to unanticipated last-minute public safety and municipal costs associated with the final permitting of the On the Beach Festival. Until I get into a broader conversation of what this does for the artists and vendors for this festival, this unanticipated last-minute public safety and municipal costs associated with final permitting. When you are putting together any type of event from any size that requires a city permit, once you get down to the framework of wanting to put your event on and knowing what you want to do and what the footprint needs to be, and once you map it out, the next thing you have to do is get all your permits. You have to start your permit process pretty early. And I'm talking about all of your permits. Whatever permits you need from the city, whatever you need from the traffic division, whatever you need from the police department, whatever you need health and safety, whatever you need when it comes to sanitation, food, alcohol, all these permits, you have a reasonable enough window to submit all these things to the city and to the different regulatory bodies that are going to be taking care of your festival. Especially with Martin Ludlow being a former city council member, you definitely almost have the inside track on all of this, right? He's got to know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody who can get something through, even though he does have a checkered past. I don't buy that. That doesn't jive. And if there's anybody who works in this business when it comes to the live event size, concerts, festival, music, let me know if you think of any other reason, if you've ever heard of last minute permitting, unless it's just the error of somebody who doesn't really know what they're doing and they're playing those people out there. I don't want to accuse Mr. Ludlow of that, but this is a very, very, very big event. This is a brand new company. This was the inaugural event for this company. Pretty ambitious to put on a jazz festival for not only put on a jazz concert, put on a jazz festival for a day, a whole weekend, a whole month in LA, multiple venues. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. I remember just what it took to put on the Smooth Jazz Festival that Smooth Jazz 98.1 used to put on down in the Gaslamp Quarter in downtown San Diego. That's a very, very ambitious undertaking. It's a great festival, mad turnouts, but that is a lot of planning, a lot of work, a lot of discussion, a big runway. And so it's kind of amazing because this festival was only first announced in April. To pop off in what was supposed to be last week on August 7th. That is not a big runway for a festival of this size. Now, here's the thing. They say everybody who bought tickets is going to be refunded within 30 days, but there's a bigger cost when it comes to refunds. Let's just start with those patrons who are coming to the festival. That is travel time. That is plans they made, maybe to someone to watch the kids, time they've taken off work, maybe a rental car, maybe a flight, maybe a hotel room or two. That's a lot. It's not just about being refunded for the tickets. It's the time, it's the inconvenience, and it's the mental hoops that you have to jump through. Now, this concert was canceled a day before it was supposed to start. The only thing worse than that is for a concert to be canceled on the day it's supposed to be. The day, night before, the day of, they're basically the same thing when it comes to planning and money. There's one thing on the ticket buyer side, the spectator, the patron, the person who's coming to watch the show. The bigger part, let's talk about the vendors, people who put stakes down to come to the festival for this weekend or any of the other events, who really invested in their business, the time, the setup, to purchase or rent space to get their license to sell and operate, whether it's their food, whether it's t-shirts, merchandise, anything goes at these festivals, right? There's all kinds of vendors, and it's very expensive to be a vendor. You're weighing whether you should go to this event versus another one, which one is going to bring out more money. Are you using resources that you could use at another event? And now you staked out all this time for the LA Jazz Festival, and now there's nothing. It's canceled.
It was supposed to be a blockbuster event for a local business and musicians until organizers for the inaugural LA Jazz Festival suddenly pulled the plug.
Yeah, this was wild. CBS LA's Jeff DeWin is live at Leimert Park, where vendors were counting on those crowds. Jeff?
Pat and Juan, the park right behind us was supposed to be the centerpiece for the kickoff to this festival, which is why you've got a couple of vendors at the corner right here. The business owners say they were looking forward to this event, and before they learned that it was canceled last night, they sunk a lot of money into this weekend.
I bought like 3 times what look at all these damn watermelons.
Lisa Unique Spearman drove to a farm past Bakersfield to pick watermelons with the hope of doing big business this weekend.
We want to put free concerts in public parks.
After the organizers of the LA Jazz Festival scheduled the event to kick off Friday in Leimert Park, but Thursday evening vendors got an email saying, regrettably, we must postpone the Jazz in the Park series.
Everybody's been looking forward to this, so it's devastating.
The festival's organizers had promised big names like John Legend and Janelle Monáe. Musician Isaiah Collier was also on the bill this weekend. He landed in LA on Friday after a long tour in Europe when he learned about the cancellation.
We lose trust, and without trust, it's hard to have community.
The event's founder is Martin Ludlow, who's a music promoter and former LA City Council member. In a statement, he says in part, due to significant unanticipated last-minute public safety and municipal costs associated with the final permitting of the On the Beach Festival, we have reached the decision to unfortunately postpone this year's inaugural LA Jazz Festival. A number of performers say they're tied to what's known as a radius clause.
Contractually cannot take gigs anywhere else who are losing money, and it's also, you're spending a bunch of money and resources. If you're a band leader, you're hiring musicians.
Gotta make sure it's ice cold.
Cheryl Williams says she and a number of food truck operators were hoping to show visitors the hospitality of Leimert Park.
Leimert Park is the mecca of Black Los Angeles. So this is the one area that you can find a lot of history.
But now vendors are left hoping to recoup what they've invested.
Anything I sell today and the rest of the weekend is not going to cover the cost of everything that I had to spend.
You can't hold on to watermelons good. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is giving some away. Anybody come past, we eating watermelons today, whether you got money or not.
And festival organizers say that ticket holders will get a refund in 30 days, but they haven't told us whether or not the musicians in the lineup will get paid. We're live in Leimert Park. Jeff
Yeah,
Nguyen.
that's huge. The other thing is the artists, the actual artists who are part of this festival. There's a quote coming out of IQmagazine.com. Again, these are all linked in the description page of this video, wherever you're watching or listening. Meanwhile, trombonist Christian Foreman said in a social media post, "I can't tell you how many musicians that I know personally who are going to perform. It's sad to see not only did they miss out on money, because LA is not cheap, but they missed out on an opportunity." Being a live artist, a jazz artist, any type of musician is not easy. You got to get the gigs. You got to weigh out your road trips. You got to figure out where to spend resources, where you're going to go to get ready for a big event like this, only for it to be canceled. And that payday, that is, again, another gig or two that you could have been doing, another show you could have been performing somewhere else and getting paid handsomely, right? Going over to the Variety magazine article, there was another quote. "Not cool for us musicians who lost money on flights and rehearsals for this," wrote one musician on CBS's Instagram page. "They canceled a big band I played with. Terribly disorganized. A real train wreck." CBS LA News spoke to jazz musician Isaiah Collier, who landed in Los Angeles on Friday after a long tour in Europe. He was scheduled to perform this weekend at the inaugural Jazz Festival, but at the last minute he found out that his and dozens of other performers' gigs were canceled. On KTLA's Instagram, a rep from SB Music Manager wrote, "Are they going to pay back all the jazz musicians, crew, etc. from the costs incurred because they canceled with no notice? Too late for musicians to get money back from hotels and flights. Not just that final weekend, but 17 days of concerts leading up to it." So you see, this is a big deal. And again, not a lot of information really what's going on except for those official statements. Not a lot of movement from LA Jazz Festival. Again, they did say everybody will get their money back who purchased tickets within 30 days. I have to be honest with you, it has that Fire Festival vibes, going to it. If you don't know what the Fire Festival was, that was the festival a few years ago that was being promoted by Ja Rule and what's the guy's name? Billy McFarland. Big festival is going to take place on this island out somewhere. They're going to have the biggest music stars. They're flying people out to this island. You're going to get a private luxury cabana. It's going to be on the water. And they flew all these influencers out, and it was a train wreck. They had like sandwiches for people. A giant windstorm came up. It was bad. And of course, this is not that bad, but the organization of it seems that not having permits the day before, you never had the permits. And so I don't know what's going on. I don't know what is really happening with this. I just thought this is something we should talk about from a big performance and ticketing perspective. Again, 30 days, within 30 days, you'll get refunds. But again, it's time, it's mental anguish, it's resources spent, it's other opportunities for musicians and vendors that are lost. So I'll keep an eye on what's going on with this LA Jazz Festival situation. I think there are a lot of questions to be answered, especially with Mr. Martin Ludlow and his new production company and how they couldn't get this off the ground. This is really bad. I don't know how you recover for something this big, but we'll keep an eye on it and we'll let you know. This has been Ticketing_Tech. My name is Ahmed. This is where we watch the tickets, we watch the tech, and we'll let you know what's up. We'll talk to you next time.